Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite the panel members on the stage for the next session. The topic for the session is Harmonizing Seed Standards and Certifications for International Trade. And the moderator for the session will be Dr. Manisha Negi, Regional Manager, Regulatory Affairs in Asia, East West Seeds International. Let's welcome her on the stage, our moderator, with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep clapping. Dr. Keshuvalu Kunusot, President ISTA. Dr. Dinesh Kumar Chauhan, CEO and Head Agribusiness and Innovation Platform, ICRISAT. Huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Let's clap. Mr. Muhammad Fatuhu, Director General, National Agricultural Seeds Council, Nigeria. Dr. K. Madhusudan, Special Officer, Seeds, University of Agricultural Sciences, GKVK, Bengaluru. Dr. Ajay Panchbhai will be joining us online. He's from Seed Systems and Product Management Lead and Region Lead for Breeding for Africa. Last but not the least, on the panel we have Ms. P.G. Srividya, Joint Director, Seed Inspection, Government of Tamil Nadu. Huge round of applause, everybody. Thank you very much. So let's begin. And the moderator, ready? Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the topic for the session is Harmonizing Seed Standards and Certifications for International Trade. And let's open the room for discussion.
Check.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. And good morning to all the panelists here. I would follow my previous moderator, that who has said that moderators should not take much time to speak. I would just take the opportunity to just introduce about the session, that what we are going to talk about today. So the session is basically on the harmonization of seed standard and certification. So in the previous session, we have heard about the seed policies, the regulations, how they can be harmonized, the IP laws, how we can move towards the India-Africa trade, and how we can harmonize the policies. So moving forward, we will talk about the practice, from policies to practice, that how can we harmonize the seed standard and the certification, which will ultimately impact the farmers, the seed, good quality seed. Why we are talking about the harmonization? Harmonization to reduce the time, to get the trust within the global space, to have a good quality seeds. And when we are talking about the seed certification, it is either done by the seed companies as a self-certification or by the government-led agencies. But the main aim is to have the good quality seed with a global standard, which can be acceptable in any corner of the world, and it impact the farmer's livelihood with the good quality seeds. So I would move forward with a very warm welcome to our dignitaries here. Dr. Dinesh Kumar Chauhan from ICRISAT, Dr. Keshuvalu, President ISTA, Mr. Muhammad Fatuhu from Nigeria, Dr. Ajay Panchbhai from IRI, he is joining us online, Ms. P.G. Srividya, Joint Director, Tamil Nadu Seed Certification Agency. Thank you, ma'am. So I would start with Dr. Dinesh. So you have you are working in the ICRISET, so I would like to ask you, ICRISET has been at the forefront of seed system, and how is ICRISET working with the private sector, both in India and Africa, to ensure that harmonized standard actually translate into the real seed availability for the farmers?
Very good morning to all of you, and thank you, Manisha, for putting up a very relevant question across. But before I come to the question directly, I would like to congratulate ICFA for organizing such a relevant conference, 3-day long conference involving industry, government, and all other agencies, especially around seed and largely around agri-input sector. I vividly remember my participation in this very series of conclave, which happened a couple of years back in Bangalore. That was the first seed series, which was coordinated by ICFA. As far as myself is concerned and my organization is concerned, so my name is Dr. Dinesh Kumar Chauhan. I am a agribusiness professional by training, and as a food technologist, spent almost more than 2.5 decades in food and agri value chain. Here at ICRISAT, I take care of agribusiness and innovation platform, which largely deals with agribusiness incubation. We work across geographies and implement a lot of projects on the ground with the support of multilateral and donor agencies. ICRISAT, as you know, is the only global CGIAR organization which is headquartered in India, and we largely focus on, our mandate is largely around research around seeds and research for seed development, especially focusing on dryland crops. For the people who are not aware about the strength of ICRISAT, so we have got one of the largest gene bank in India, and very much in Hyderabad. We have accessions of more than 135,000 lines over here. We do a lot of work around research around seed and genomics, etc. So coming back to your question, like what is the role of ICRISAT in engaging with the private sector industry, both in terms of promoting seed across India and Africa. So we work very closely with most of the private sector industries in research and developing good quality seeds over there. And also we work around strengthening of seed hubs across these geographies. And we also are looking forward to facilitate the dialogue around setting up of standards around seed sector. So I am here to look forward for more such engagement with the seed industry. We are actively looking forward for participation and looking for co-creation model, working together with private sector for development of seed industry, and how our research can contribute in coming up with new varieties which are more climate resilient and which can withstand the current challenges of climate change, which is very pressing. And if I talk about agribusiness incubation, so we work along with our research team, where we help them in developing the final products which can be more nutrient dense. So from the research, which we support our research team in terms of identifying those kind of lines which are more climate resilient, which has more nutrition in it. For example, we do nutrient profiling of these crops, and then after that we actually do end-to-end by developing the recipes which actually have a lot of these qualities which can finally go into the consumption. And we largely focus on community nutrition programs. We do have our own post-harvest technology setup, labs and all. So this is overall what I would like to say in the limited time constraint which I have, that there is a lot of opportunity working collaboratively between ICRISAT and private sector industry, and we are already doing a lot of work with a lot of these private sector companies, and both in India as well as in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think this is a great platform to have collaboration and have discuss about the opportunities which we have shared. I would like to move forward to Dr. Keshavalu. Thank you, sir. Sir, as we know that Africa and the regional economic communities in Africa, such as ECOWAS, COMESA, SADC, they have already framed their seed regulations. So, in your view, what is the best way for India to collaborate with them and to align with those seed regulations?
So good morning, everyone. Thanks, Manisha, and then thanks to Dr. Dinesh for the giving background of your seed systems and then ECRISAT seed systems to the Africa. So let us come back to the seed. Seed is not just for the sowings and for agriculture, and it is our mainly for our food systems and it is for our civilization. Yet, despite the vital importance of the seed, unfortunately, in many parts of the world, I would say, or in some parts of the world, the seed standards, regulations, certification, so they are inconsistent. So what is needed for us? What is in front of us? And then we have been talking since yesterday and then today, and then so thanks to the earlier session. When we look at these, based on the certification and seed testing and also based on the seed systems, so we can categorize it into broadly categorized into three systems. One could be the advanced seed systems, which is found in US, Europe, and also New Zealand and Australia and some parts of the Latin America, of course. So these are led by the private seed industry. They follow the strict and they adhere the seed enforcement and all the regulations. Coming to the moderately the advanced seed systems like us, seen in India, Thailand, Vietnam, and parts of the other parts of the world, in some of a few countries, where the public and private seed industry dominates. So here, again, the private seed industry is coming up and then growing, and then dynamically, again, if you look at here in the Indian seed industries, we are at the 5th place. Finally, the third one is the weaker seed systems, I would say, are farmer seed systems, which exist in most parts of the Africa and also in Southeast Asia and also in some parts of the world. Okay, so therefore, again, we have been talking again in each and every session, harmonization, alignment, and then how do we harmonize them? We know the benefits of the harmonization. You can facilitate the seed trade, and then you can have the improved varieties by enabling the plant breeders and advanced seed companies or biotech firms. And also, it empowers the smallholders, especially for the food security and then access of seed quality. So therefore, I don't want to use here the harmonization, again, the challenges, because so this morning in the earlier session, so everybody uses the challenges, and then let us go for the questions. For the naturally, each country and then each nations have their own questions for the collaborations and also alignments. If you look at them, so regulatory sovereignty, each country has their own, and then we have to respect them. And then they want to preserve the seed systems or policies, and then everyone, so we have to respect. The next one is the infrastructure gap, incapabilities that we need to, and they have to be capable in these maintaining, monitoring, production, distribution systems, so which is lacking. Then coming to the final, the biodiversity. So each country, again, so they have to respect their own biodiversity. They have to preserve their germplasms and local varieties for their own consumption. Every country does. So what are the options? When we look at these, for the collaborations, harmonizations, let us go to again, back to the globally, and then the successful models. And then immediately after the Second World War, European Union or European countries, they suffered a lot. They don't have any harmonization. But slowly, half late, so they have developed an excellent unified seed regulatory systems across the 27 countries, which was earlier UK as well, including the 28 countries. So there is a framework for the non-EU countries as well through the European equivalents, if it matches to their seed certification process or principles. So here, again, we too have another model, so which is a global model called the OECD offers, OECD seed schemes offers across the globe. And then you can export the seeds under OECD seed certification. Then coming to your question, like ECOWAS, COMESA, then SADC, as we all know. So ECOWAS is covering with 15 countries, I think. COMESA with 21 countries. SADC with 16 countries. And then the region is coming up, or another black is coming up, like Sahel region with 14 or 12 or 14 countries. So these are some of the successful models, and so they have their own regulatory system. So here I am not talking about the most important and most crucial, and then the crucial point or the issue is the plant breeder rights or farmer safe seeds. So which is not exist, this issue is only a few countries, as mentioned by Dr. Jadlani this morning, 3 or 4 countries. However, so the regulatory systems of these 3 regions, they have their own directives. And thanks to the African Union, so they are coming up with a African continent regulatory seed regulations. I think so that maybe that the whole continent would be, instead of regionally, they wanted to come up with the continent level, the harmonization. If it comes, the question will be again back to the farmers and then the plant breeders' rights, and then how to address the issue. Okay, so then coming to another model, which it is again coming up, it is a IRI initiative that is beyond the borders with the 9 countries in Southeast Asian countries. So they are working on this, and then hopefully there will be a session in the afternoon. Then these are the models. Then coming to the African region and Indian regions, we are common at the international level for international frameworks like OECD seed schemes and also ISTA. And then we can export the seeds to the OECD countries. There are 15 countries are in African region. And then besides these, and then the most important one is we have to be ready. We have to be ready, and then we have to face the questions and solutions. And then we need to go into the region, and then we need to enter into the market. Like entering into the market, the basic requirement, many of us, we should know that so there is again, like in India, DUS and VCU testing is a mandatory in certain countries. The companies who would want to enter into their market, they can also participate in their national coordinated trials in their countries. So there are procedures, and and then coming to our India strengths. I need not to speak on the Indian strength and then our commonalities. So we have to be, and there is a way, but however, we have to respect there are the points which were given by yesterday the Dr. Ram Kaundania. So the companies has to be a long-term plan instead of a short-term plan. And there is a way, and then immediately, if you want to do the business, if you want to enter into the African markets or regions, and then you can directly jump into it, but however, it may take the minimum of 3 years to go to the African markets. So with this, I stop here, and then let us hear from the others and then audience. Thanks, Manisha.
Thank you so much, sir. Because I think there are few things which I also don't know about. Like you said that Africa have many countries where they have the OECD seed certification system. And it is very important for the seed quality perspective, because OECD gives a guarantee for the seed quality. When we are certifying the seed through the OECD, it's giving a kind of genuine guarantee for the seed that it is certified by the OECD and you will be having the good quality seed. So it is a good thing to know, sir. And going with this, I would like to move forward to our next question to Mr. Fatuhu. As you know, sir, that the counterfeit and substandard seed is a very global, a big challenge for everyone. So how can seed certification system can help to safeguard this for the farmers?
Thank you very much. Very good morning. Well, it's an opportunity for me to be here representing Africa. I wouldn't say I'm representing my country, Nigeria, because the panelists here, I'm the only African, and it's India African Seed Summit. When you talk of seed as a regulator, tiny but mighty catalyst, it covers 50% of the totality of agricultural sector. So you can believe that seed, it's life itself. Because if it covers 50% of agriculture sector, the other 50 comprises of mechanization, irrigation, and others. Coming to the question, counterfeit. Seed counterfeit is a threat to the farmers, not only to the farmers, but to the nation, and generally the seed sector globally. To the farmers, his livelihood is being threatened. To the nation, it's a national security. Globally, it's threat to the trust to the seed sector. You see, these three things are connected, from the farmer as a person to the nation itself, then globally. By projection in the next 10 to 20 years, India and Africa population will supersede the world. So what's the way out? And I think this summit, it's the right step to the future. Earlier yesterday, I was explaining to the audience. Today I'm 4 months as the Director General, National Agricultural Seed Council. I'm not a seed expert, but I was a legislator for 4 years who made laws, bills, policies. I think with that experience, I don't know why the system chose me to lead the sector. It was a totally different thing for me because my predecessors, all of them were seed experts who are your friends and former colleagues, I'm the only outsider to be appointed there. So it was a kind of challenging, but I did my best and understand the sector within 4 months now. It's all about regulation. It's all about mediating between the producer and the consumer. Fair play. In the last August, the National Agriculture turns 50 years anniversary. And we are hoping in the next 2 months, maybe end of October or early November, we'll be hosting Seed Connect in Nigeria. And I believe that avenue will give us the roadmap, we Africans and India, to achieve our goals. How can certification system helps safeguard farmers? Seed certification is the backbone that farmers rely on, because it provides 3 quality assurance. You look at genetic purity, you look at physical and physiological quality, you look at traceable and accountability. But furthermore, we decided to build what is called Seed Certification Department. Under that Seed Certification Department, we have seed inspectorates who are aligned with the OECD standard and ISTA standard. And under that department, we still have 2 units, compliance monitoring and the other unit, enforcement. We're trying to make sure that both the consumer and the seed companies have a plain level ground to carry out their business. By the introduction of Seed Tracker, which was launched, I think, 22nd September 2022 by one of Indian company. We launched that Seed Tracker, and it's given us results. We're able to mop up almost like 60 to 70%. In a nutshell, regulatory work in Africa or in Nigeria, as the panels contributed, multiple regulations, multiple taxations is the bottleneck. I will refer to yesterday's panelists. I think Mr. Ram, I still remember that name. Wisdom was contributed from him. Africa is the expansion ground. But doing business in Africa 2-3 years will not yield the result. There have to be time, patience, and I believe by October ending or November, one will call for Seed Connect in Nigeria. I believe 40 or 45% of the audience will attend, and let's make this union a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fatahu, for giving a very insightful information about the Africa seed certification system and the strength that they are using the OECD seed standards for their certification program. I would request my audience also that we would be not, means I would not like to ask the questions to the panelists only, and I would request you also to note down few of the questions where you can also engage with the panelists, because we have a very good combination of speakers here from the India as well as Africa, from the international organizations like IRI, ICRISAT. So we have a good opportunity to have a good discussion over here. We will give you the opportunity to ask the questions. So I would request you to keep your questions ready. I'll move forward to Ms. Srividya ji. Madam, looking at your experience, and how do you feel about the envisioned digital certification system, that how it can transform the seed trade?
Shall I have my PPT, please?
Okay, ma'am.
Respected delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to everybody. First of all, I want to thank you for selecting me as one of the panelists. My question is envision on digital certification methodologies. First one is this digital. First of all, we have entered into digital agriculture, where we are doing FR farmer registry and digital crop survey. Like that, in seed certification also, digitization has become very important. First one is, because of digital certification, faster verification and trade clearance. See, if we are giving, in Tamil Nadu, we have got a specs portal where end to end it is digitalized. In 2016 itself, we have started specs portal, and from seed to seed, everything comes under digitalization. That is, from seed farm registration, the tag will be scanned and it will be uploaded in the specs portal, and separate login will be given to the grower, separate login to the RO, separate login to the SEO. So everybody can access, and each and every stage we can follow in the specs portal. So from seed farm registration, then seed inspection, first inspection, second inspection, then process, harvest, processing, tagging, everything can be watched through specs portal. So digitalization is the order of the day, and now we are at it. So digital certification enables instant verification. On seeing the tag itself, we can find out where it has been packed, date of expiry, and number of percentage of ODB, everything we can find out, percentage of moisture, everything can be found out from the tag itself. So it is a very quick process, and it also reduces paperwork, delays at customs, and ensures quality. Next one is transparency and traceability. See, there is QR code, blockchain technologies have come up. On scanning the QR code, you can find out, you can ensure tamper-proof certificates, and also farmers, traders, and regulators can trace seed origin, testing results, and movement in real time. So at any time they can trace and find out where it is, what is the stage, and all that they can very well find out. Then cost and efficiency gains, you can cut transaction cost. In those days, physically the grower or the seed producer, they will take the tag and physically go to the SEO office, they will go and register the seed farm registration. It is a lengthy process. But now, in one place itself, they can sit and then upload the document, and everything can be done automatically in that one end. So digitization is very fast nowadays, and people are also used to it. Now they have also learned everything. The officials are also feeling comfortable with the digital agriculture. Then cost efficiency and gains, it cuts transaction costs by minimizing manual processing. Next is it encourages quicker decision making by important export approvals. Please raise the PPT. Yeah, fine. Next, integration with global platforms. That is a shared global audit and inspection mechanism to ensure quality consistency, and the incorporation of AI-driven risk resistance for detecting irregularities. And finally, vision statement is by 2035, now we are in 2025, in another 10 years, a farmer in India or Africa should be able to get a certified seed with full confidence. A certified seed means there won't be any issue at all. It will be true to type. Like that, everybody will have a confidence. There will not be any field issues. Like that is our aim, and it will by reducing trade friction, ensuring food security, and boosting farmer income. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I think you have given a very good experience. You have shared a very good experience with us that how the seed certification system in yes is doing a very great job, and you have also explained that how it can be aligned with the global system, which it was my next question to ask you, but I think you have answered it in the same one. So thank you so much, ma'am. Welcome, Ajay sir. I would like to come next to you. So with your extensive experience in the Asia, in Africa, at the regulatory and the policy level, what are the practical challenges that you see in the seed sector in Africa, and what do you think that how we can cater with that?
Hello. Yeah. Hello, good morning, everyone. Dr. Manisha, can you please confirm if you can hear me properly?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
All right. So thank you again. Thank you for this invitation. And my apologies that I was not able to join at the beginning. There was some technical difficulty. But yeah, so glad to be part of this, and thank you again. Regarding the regulatory challenges or the policy challenges for seed sector in Africa, and I'm sure there are many colleagues who can really speak for this one. In our experience, I would say there are a couple of challenges for sure. Like for example, if you look at the overall policy environment for the private sector engagement or for private sector investment in Africa, I truly feel, and I am sure my African colleagues who are present out there, and I see many are there right now. I believe that they would agree to this sentiment that probably the policy environment for the private sector in seed area could be improved, could probably be better, and there are many aspects and many angles to that. It's not a blanket statement by the way. So this also means that overall I think the continent is doing really good. Having said that, not every country is at the same level, as we all know. While some of the countries are very conducive and very encouraging for private sector engagement and private sector investment in seed sector, I think this is a trend that other countries who are not at that level will have to follow. Based on our experience in Asia, based on our experience in other continents, for example, Americas and Latin America and so on, we know for sure that for any agricultural innovation and typically the improved varieties, new varieties in this case, we surely need the delivery partner, we surely need the private sector interest and engagement to take that innovation further down to the targeted stakeholders. And if the policy environment is not so much encouraging and conducive, probably we are not really doing the full justice to the kind of like investment that we are putting in agricultural investment, agricultural research. So that's one point. Secondly, I truly believe that the policy environment, and especially at the regional level, the policy framework at the regional level, so that needs to be fully, I would say, operationalized and fully kind of like that needs to be really looked at from a practical standpoint. And in this case, I'm talking about some of the regional policy framework. For example, we have COMESA, we have ECOWAS, we have many other regional bodies. And so while those policy framework is already there, when it comes to the practical level, when it comes to the implementation level, I think we all know, and the seed sector stakeholders, especially from the private sector, they know very, very well that there are some practical challenges at the implementation level. I think those are the areas where the policy framework which is already existing, that needs to be operationalized, and that needs to be kind of like, smoothed in a way that it doesn't become any bottleneck for the operational purposes. So that's number two. Number three, when we look at some of the like for example, when you look at the varietal release process in Asia, varietal release process in, let's say, in Europe or in Latin America, and varietal release process for us in Africa, I'm sure many stakeholders would agree to this one, that the varietal release process for us in Africa is very much lengthy, and also at the same time it is costlier. So those are the areas definitely we will have to look into, and we will have to basically brainstorm about it and talk to the policyholders, policymakers and so on, and then try to make it more practical, try to make it more kind of, I would say, more data driven, and try to make it more I would say conducive for any developmental partner or any research partner. Maybe just to give one example, the requirement for dust data, the distinctiveness and stability, uniformity and stability data. So when we look at the policy regime in Asia, and when we look at the policy regime here in Africa, so the requirement for dust data in Asia is largely connected to the kind of like protecting your varieties and IP regime and so on. Whereas the requirement for the dust data here in Africa is very tightly linked to the commercialization of the varieties, varietal release and commercialization. I think that needs to be looked at from a very data-driven point of view and very logical perspective, that do we really need dust data or dust trials to make sure that the varieties are being released and the varieties are being made available to the farmers, right? While other countries and other continent is taking some pragmatic approach, I think it's a high time for us also to look into those processes, look into that data and make it more practical and more, I would say, conducive. I'm not saying that there has to be some undue advantage, no, but then it has to be a proper logical and data-driven process. So there are, these are few examples, Dr. Manisha, that I would think about, or I would right away think of. But I'm sure there are many areas where probably we can have we can probably share experiences from other continents, and we can make our processes more conducive. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ajay sir. I would like to echo the point you have shared about the operational implementation of the policies, because we have very strong policies in India, as well as we are talking about the Africa regulatory framework. But it is also very important at the same time that when we are going to implement the enforcement of those policies, it should also be operationally feasible, and it should in a way motivate the industry to work and to provide to work for the farmers, to provide good quality, good breeding for our agriculture. But it should not hinder the research. It should not hinder the growth of the industry. It should support, but it should be operationally supportive, the way you said. And of course, the data point, the dust characteristics, I have seen in my in Asian countries, there are countries who accept the data from the private industries, as well as which is whether it is dust data for PPVFRA, for protecting plant varieties, for the registration of varieties. So yes, these kind of things, when the other countries can adopt, we can give an opportunity to the industry who are investing a lot of money in the R&D, who have good capacity. So they should be allowed to provide their data, and those should be accepted in the government platform, I feel. So thank you so much, Dr. Ajay. I'd go back to Dr. Dinesh for the next question. So, sir, I would like to ask you that looking at the strong partnership of ICRISAT with the India and Africa, What do you feel about that, how private seed sector can support to enhance the, for the building trust, scaling innovation, and for the mutual recognition of certification system? So what can be done by the private sector? What's your expectation, sir?
Thank you. So, as I mentioned earlier also, so what we see that private sector is actually, they are the real engine of growth for the seed sector, and they play a very critical role in seed sector. So some of the pointers which I would like to add is that that private sector has to actually focus more on the quality of seeds which they are manufacturing and producing. They have to adopt for the better quality standards. Probably, as my previous speaker said, that the role of digitization. So we strongly believe that there is a very important role of digitization, especially in case of seed sector, right? So we would like to encourage most of the private sector companies to actually adopt as much as possible the digital technologies and blockchain technologies. This will help actually to ensure the quality parameters, and it can bring more transparency in the value chain. We also emphasize on partnering both at with private sector. Especially we see that there is a lot of opportunity of partnering with private sector in trialing and capacity building. We have got a lot of strength in capacity building and extending that to private sector, and we have been working very closely with a lot of these private sector companies in trialing and also in capacity building. And very soon we will be coming off a lot of more such programs. Keep a lookout on that. So we will be coming up with a lot of these capacity building programs, and we will encourage a lot of these private sector to actually utilize this services which we are ready to extend it. The capacities which we have developed in last 50 years almost, and across most of the regions and geographies in India, as well as in a lot of countries in Africa as well. We have more than 12 regional offices in Africa. We have a lot of research stations and farms over there, along with research facilities also in some of these countries. So I see a lot of African participants here with my fellow colleague as well. We do have operations in Kano as well, right? And then we are having our regional office in Nairobi, where Ajay is also based off right now, right? So I would like to encourage all of you to and welcome to have a partnership with us in evolving, and we are ready to support in whatever manner we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's wonderful to hear that there are many initiatives which ICRISET is taking in the Africa and India to have more collaboration, to have more good quality of seeds. We are talking about the harmonization all day, so it's good to hear that, sir. I would say that I think that we are keep talking and we can have some engagement with the audience as well. So is there any question from the audience to any speakers? We can take that question also in between, and then we can move forward accordingly.
Sure. Anybody, any questions from the audience? Yes. Okay.
I want to congratulate Dr. Muhammad from Nigeria for his bold statement yesterday that he welcomes all kind of technology, including biotechnology. And I also had a chat with him yesterday, and he's open-minded. I think such openness and transparency is there. I think Africa will really benefit from all the technologies. And also I agree with Ram sir that it should be a long-term investment, not the short-term investment. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another question.
This is Sudhakar Reddy, engineer turned farmer. And I've been practicing the last 15 years on this paddy and other things. The good seed, if it is not followed up by good agricultural practices, will not help based on my 15 years experience. if you can deploy a number of practices like irrigation, sufficient irrigation after each process, the seedling being coated with the biofertilizers, followed by the tilling in a conservative manner. So all such things will matter, and then plant densities. So if you can follow these practices systematically one after the other, they add to the total effects, factorial effects. We talk too much on that, and then 4 Rs are not being followed in most of these crop patterns. If only one can think of resources being utilized properly and resource use efficiencies are being practiced properly to aid the strength of the seed. It is not the strength alone. In most of the fora I used to tell, and the heads of those organizations used to come and tell me, you are talking too much in private. It's not talking too much. It is the reality of the situation. When only I followed these things, I got national award with maximum productivity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
We
sir.
have another question. We'll just take 2 more questions.
Thank you very much. To start with, I guess we all agree that the regulations put in place by governments is, as one of the panelists stated, the purpose is to protect the national security and national interest of the country. They don't mean to, of course, to complicate the process of international trade or the importation of in our case, the seeds into the country. So if there are some kind of bureaucracy or delays in the process, it should be, I guess, mainly for the lack of capacity. So, I mean, what role can be played by these international organizations? I think one of the panelists referred to the role of the European Union in harmonizing the standards within the European Union. And the African Union, I think, is taking an initiative on this. What role can be played by these organizations, supported by the private sector? I think it is in the interest of the private sector, in the interest of the companies, to have these organizations come forward to harmonize within the regional grouping, within, for example, Africa, now the case of Africa, the African Union, to help the African Union help the national governments to adopt standardized procedure and to harmonize all these things. So again, of course, I mean, we have listened to the Center for Eric Satt on the role that they are doing. It's a very great role, but how can we actually put this as part of the broader effort in working with the private sector to have like initiatives to go, for example, to the African Union and support technically or by policy frameworks or whatever. So again, my question, to make it short, what role the private sector can play in encouraging the regional organizations to play this role along, of course, with national governments? Thank you.
So I think, do you want to answer?
No, so I think he if I am correct, so your question, if I understand correctly, I think international organizations like African Union, European Union, maybe OECD or ISTA or the ISF, all these organizations are very much involved with the seed industry, and many of them working for the needs of seed industry across the world. But however, here there should be a platform. I would quote the best example is Rwanda. You can just back 5 years of back, Rwanda in seed sector is not much developed, and today you can see. So there, yesterday also we had from in one of the speakers in the inaugural sessions. So they are producing the higher seed, rice seed requirement, and then in addition to their requirement, they are also exporting seeds to the other countries. So there is a World Seed Partnership. So in this, all these international organizations are involved, and they are supporting the seed industry. And seed industry is also one of the stakeholders there. Thank you.
Manisha, can I add to that? Sorry, Manisha, can I just add to that?
Yes, sure, sir.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you, Dr. Kesavalu, for highlighting this World Seed Partnership. I mean, just to complement to that, from CGIAR point of view, or from CGIAR side, we are very much, I would say, purposeful regarding fostering this kind of like PPP and making sure that whatever support that the private sector is looking for, and especially for Africa, we are trying our bit. Now, in that direction, what we have done over the last 2 years is that we have basically established the partnerships with the ISF, International Seed Federation. We have established partnerships with APSTA, African Seed Trade Association. I'm sure Yakuba is sitting somewhere there. And at the same time, we also have partnerships with APSA, Asia Pacific Seed Association, and also with ASTA. Now, the whole objective is to make sure that how can we share capacities across the continents, right? As I was just mentioning earlier, that there are many things that probably we can borrow from each other and make it more data-driven and more practical. So I will not go into all those details, but I think to respond to your question and to complement Dr. Kesavalu, I think there's a lot that the international organizations are really bringing to the forum to make sure that we are helping the seed sector to grow in Africa. Yeah.
Would you like to add? Okay, next. Okay, thank you so much, Ajay sir, to add over that. I would like to ask one more question to Mr. Fatahu about the digitalization. We are talking about so much about the digital advancement. So what do you think that what innovations like digital tags, QR codes, how they can progress in the seed certification process to make it more transparent?
Thank you once again. Technology should be our best ally, and it is. By the introduction of seed codex, which is a lab tag put on each and every seed bag that you can just scratch by using your phone. At instant, you get the whole details of that seed and the producer and the company. I think with that, we've controlled interference with counterfeit, fake, and multiple, production of seed. And you see, we need more than technology. We have to have confidence in ourselves and trust in this industry. We're talking about seed. And I keep on repeating this, seed is our life. Just plant a grain, just a single seed, and the yield, it's awesome. We have seed codex helps, especially in Nigeria, where the market is booming. Seed market is booming in Nigeria. With due respect, yesterday, someone was making a presentation here, Taraba Seed Company. I was sitting down and with my technical assistant, That's the help of technology. I asked him to give me the information of this company. I couldn't find it. Because we are trying to protect the investment of the seed companies. We centralize, categorize from breather, foundation, and certified companies. We couldn't find it there. So after the discussion, I met him and asked him. I told him, I saw your wonderful presentation, and I was moved, but I don't know this company. How comes you have such data and such results from my country as a regulator? You know, I can sue you here, and I will take $10 million. We laughed, you know, and I encouraged him. I said, as soon as I get back, I will write you formally. Come down, make your proper documentation, and let's have you, you know, documented. You see, that's technology for you. Within just a snap, the whole database of the seed companies we have in Nigeria registered and satisfied are 634. And we have a lot of Indian companies there. They are my friends. So technology plays a vital role. So I think it helps. And we are friends with him. But I can be the regulator. I can turn my face and get the 10 million. I will find him internationally, and I will get it. So we have to be careful. As a regulator, I will protect the consumer, and I will protect the investor. I'm in the middle of the storm. I know what I'm taking down there at home. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. I really appreciate the way you welcome the industry to make more and more innovative, more and more you are welcoming the digital solutions. So thank you so much for your words. I will put the last question to Dr. Keshavalu, because looking at the time constraint, we will not go much. And I would like to just ask you, sir, that being the president for the ESTA, you are having so much of knowledge about the seed certification, being working for India for so many long. And what do you think, can you please put some light over the OECD, over the ESTA, that how these can, these international benchmarks can build trust over the seed quality on international forums? So how they help actually? Just a kind of basic question to you.
So thanks, Manisha. I think it is well known globally, the benchmark for the ISTA and the OECD, both international organizations. When we look at ensuring the seed quality is fundamental to the agriculture productivity, and then we will accept this. But however, ensuring the quality is the more challenge. And then if you see the globally, there are the two organization, as Manisha said. So one is the OECD. OECD is a legal framework or international framework for seed certification. And then you can move seed from one part of the world to other parts. It protects and it maintains its varietal purity and identity. And then look at the India joined in 2008. And then India has been producing since 2016 and then exporting seeds to the African countries. And then so we have the opportunity to export the seed from India to African countries. Then coming to as I said, yesterday I said that OECD is a members, the OECD members in African countries there are 12, and they are also looking to have the potential countries, Mozambique, Malawi, and then one more country. So they are looking to join the OECD seed comes. There is an opportunity for moving the seed from here to there and then from there to here. The only one requirement is you need to register your variety or hybrid in the OECD catalog. It's very simple. Then coming to there is another important, like the G7 countries. So again, OECD is supporting all the African countries for the capacity building of the trainings, and then all the requirements, the infrastructure requirement if needed. So they are coming up with the there is a fund. In the G7 countries, probably G7 countries are helping to the African countries in the international seed certification system. Then coming to the important, as we are saying, then again, I need to tell again the ISTA, International Seed Testing International Organization, and then which is 100 years old. Then India joined in the ISTA is in 1961. And then India and then many African countries are members. In India, we have the 29 laboratories, and in Africa as well, about the 15 to 16 laboratories already exist, and they are coming up. And then, so these are the two international organizations for trust building. Again, so they are helping for the harmonization and then cooperation and then wherever needed. And then what is needed here? As someone pointed out in the earlier session, so there is a free trade agreement between the two countries. If we come up with the India and the African region, the free trade agreement as similar to Kenya and then USA. So they are working on that. So there will be a framework on this, and then probably we need to work with them. Then who will help, and then we need to have a mutual trust between these two regions, because we are very well connected to the international seed organizations and as per the international seed standards. And then finally, what I would say is we have the APSA here, Yakuba is here, and then so there are the two very active, our Indian Seed Association, NSI and FSSI, and then so they have to take up and then further this kind of programs and then this kind of alignments, and then you may have to just work with all other international organizations that would help us to formalize or harmonize the things for the better way. And then, so therefore, so this will be helpful for both the regions, including the African region and then India. So therefore, I would say we need to combine the efforts to ensure the farmers and for our food security, national security, and then we are talking very much. The next is the future is in Africa, you know? And then I would just quote the one example is after 100 years, ISTA, the international organization ISTA, is going to organize a seed congress in Rwanda in 2028. So that shows that, again, interest in their region, and then Africa is coming up, and then it is, for all of us, it is time for us to look at the region and then let us work together for our mutual benefit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for very insightful information about those international bodies. The key takeaways, what we say, like when we are hearing from all the experts, so it gives us like the harmonization in the seed standard and the certification. It built the trust among the global fraternity. When we talk about the international benchmarks, it strengthened our seed system. And not only talking about the policies or the processes, we should also make the enforcement people capable of enforcing those things. Like we can say the capacity building for the government people or the professionals who are actually enforcing these laws. So I think that is also very important when we are talking about these things. And last but not the less important, the global standard, one standard for the global seed system, which Dr. Shrivalli was also mentioned in her talk. So that is also important for this. So with these words, I would like to say thank you for all the esteemed panelists here for their time and sharing such insightful information. Thank you so much.
And certifications for international trade. And now it's time for me to invite on stage our chairman, K.S. Narayanan sir, on the stage to give the mementos to our panel members. Let's keep clapping. Dr. Dinesh Kumar Chauhan, CEO and Head Agribusiness and Innovation Platform, ICRISAT. Huge round of applause, please. Dr. Mohammed Fatuhu, Director General, National Agricultural Seeds Council, Nigeria. And I thank Dr. Ajay Panchbai, Seed Systems and Product Management Lead and Regional Lead for Breeding for Africa, for joining us online. Ms. P.G. Srividya, Joint Secretary, Seed Inspection, Government of Tamil Nadu. Huge round of applause. Thank you very much. Last but not the least, our moderator for the session, Dr. Manisha Negi, Regional Manager of Regulatory Affairs in Asia, East-West Seeds International. Huge round of applause. I request the panel members to join for a group picture. Thank you very much.